like this crack would come right through here, and it would come up like this as opposed to going straight across like it is. Okay. What guys do is they're in such a rush, they go so fast this way that they just run right through this and they totally forget that top part, right? Okay. They just don't see it, or they're in a rush, they don't give a fuck. That is the same as this right here. This is just somebody saying, you know, there's no way you don't see yourself do that and then go, I'm just gonna fucking leave it. You know? Like, or if maybe you're not paying attention, I don't know. But the idea and what I like, I build myself a lot of ways that I actually fuck myself. And what I mean by that is the same way that I go in and run up in people's parking lots and point out their shitty work so that I can fucking hold myself to a higher standard on shit like this. Like, I do myself this giant disservice because everybody else is going to come in here and sell this job like by the linear foot. That's how everybody sells crack filling, right? They look at a job, they come up with a number of how many linear feet they are, they slap a number on that price, and then that's the fucking price, you know? I sell it like by the square foot, which means if there's any fucking crack within that square foot, it's got to get filled, you know? When you sell it by the linear foot, you can do shit like that. Because at the end of the day, you're probably going to blow your number away for what you figured out for the job, right? Let's say you said this job had 150,000 linear feet. And just for good measure, you put down 175,000 worth. And you know how much because of how much rubber you used. Now, when you do shit like this in these giant puddles, that fucking throws your numbers off. Because I try to figure how many gallons did we use? How many boxes did we use last night? Well, we used 20 boxes. There's a formula that we can figure out how many linear feet worth of cracks we did. So you always go a little bit over when you're selling it by the foot, right? You go over, and then if you miss shit like that, you're just like, hey, yes, so what? Shit happens. You know, like, I fucking filled 25,000 more feet than I was supposed to, you know? But when you sell it by the foot, or when you sell it by the job, or the square foot, like I have this line where I'm like, I treat every individual square foot of the job like it's its own job. You're getting charged for that square foot, I'm fucking doing that square foot. So if I do shit like that, then someone's like, hey, that's in a square, you know what I mean? So nobody knew that the first night we came out here. This is technically the first night we did this, you know? This happened on that first night. So nobody knew how the standards were. And like I said to you know, fucking Sanchez over there, whatever, I was like, listen, you can't, like, I don't expect you to get it. I don't expect you, I don't expect any of you guys to get it, like, until it's time to get it. You know, this is a job where you're gonna have so much repetitive working on doing crack filling that even if you don't feel comfortable doing it now, I guarantee you by the time you're done with this job, you'll be like, oh, that ain't shit. Like, that ain't shit. And after doing jobs like this is the biggest job we'll do this year on cracks. So when you show up at a lot that's a quarter of the size of this, you're gonna feel like, oh, I'm gonna fucking bang this thing out like that, you know? It's gonna take some getting used to. You're gonna have to find your own method and technique of how you do it. I can give you pointers, you know, like I was telling them, I'm like, instead of like, you know, I use the edge of the cup. So if the cup is flat on the ground and I'm going this way, I'll tilt the cup a little and I'll just run it this way. If I'm going back, I run it that way, you know.
Do you hold the fucking
no, the trigger is,
you keep clicking it as you go?
So think of it like this. That cup is a reservoir. It's like a fucking hourglass. And you're gonna put material in that cup as you move, depending on how fast you move, you're gonna use up what's in that cup.
Right.
The trigger is only there to feed that reservoir.
Okay.
Right? So when you see me do it, I'm fast on that one. So I'm click, 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 you know, like where other guys are slower, they click, click, and you know, right when you drop the cup on the ground, you hit the button, you start moving with it. When you see your bead or your line is drying out, you know, oh shit, I'm running out of material. Click, 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 you know? So that's another reason why that cup doesn't work good is, I mean, the disc does not work good on my machine, is that machine pumps like a fucking fire hose. And I'm sure there are ways to adjust the hydraulics on it and shit like that.
You just don't want to fuck with it.
But that machine runs awesome the way it is. I've been using it that way for 3 years, and like I'm not changing it because people don't know how to use it. You know what I mean? Like I don't care if you don't know how to use that disc. Not you, I'm saying, you know,
General.
or you've used the disc, you know. Like you'll figure it out. It'll take you some time.
I was flying with
Yeah,
it
dude.
last night.
Yeah, you're I don't know who went up this middle strip on the road in the back.
Oh, in the back or like right in front of the building, not middle strip.
Not in the parking spots of the building, but in the road part right outside those parking
That
spots.
was me, where it's like a whole bunch of cracks. Like
Yes,
a whole line.
that
was me.
shit looked so fucking tight.
Yeah.
That was like perfect. That's how you do it, you know? Like, so you see the difference between those, John, and that little strip in the middle? Like, get a good look at this and then go over at that, and that's just experience. And that's really what, like 2 days of experience?
Yeah, I've
So-
only used a disc before. That was
Yeah.
the first 2 days using that.
The hardest part of that fucking machine is going to be arm strength. You know, if you don't have arm strength, you know, like I can hold that thing for 8 hours a day and go home and come back and do it 8 hours a day tomorrow. Like, it doesn't affect me at all. But Lorenzo, you know, I don't know, fucking, you know, Scarecrow over there, he can't, you know, oh, my arms fucking, they kill me after one night of doing that shit. It's like, well, it's also the beginning of the season, and you're not used to working like that, you know?
Yeah.
That's why I tried to say, like, the shit that we're doing now, this is the key time to learn, because it's going to get so hot, and then, you know, I'm sure you know from the military, once you have that factor, like it totally discombobbles your brain, you can't think, you're not going to get anything right at that point. So, you know, look, I mean, practice makes perfect, man. You know, just practice it. If you got any questions, you know, just ask.
The only part I'm kind of on the fence about this, you say that you want guys to stay that are fast, but if they're puddling up and, you know, making mistakes and stuff, you're not concerned about that because you want them to go fast?
No. That back looks fine. I can tell what guys worked on what. I can see I can tell who's doing what now. You know, I mean, it's not an issue of like this guy's better than that guy, or, you know, to me I need experience shit happening out here. If I you know,